Hi, I'm Shannon here from houseimprovements.com, and in today's video I just want to show you how to install a pot light or a can light in a suspended ceiling like we have in this room. So we've already pre-ran the wiring, and that's pretty straightforward. You can kind of see some of that in our other videos. And what we've got hanging here then is the wiring that's going to go into this one pot light. We've turned the power off at the breaker, obviously, so that's all done. And the reason for the two wires is one is the supply coming in. This room is going to have 4 lights in it, so there's one coming in from basically the power source, and the other one going out to the next light. Okay, so just basically have to strip these off to get them ready, and then I'll pull the ceiling tile into place and drill the hole. To drill the hole, we're going to use a appropriate sized hole saw in a drill. So once you have your lights, usually they'll state what size of hole it needs, or they might have a template or whatever. So just depending on your light. I'm just going to tuck these out of the way for right now. I'll pull the ceiling tile back down into position. So you need to determine obviously the location of the tile, or sorry, of the light, and also pay attention to what's above that area, because you're going to need a little bit of room to maneuver. This is the style light that we're using today, so this is the part you don't see. This all goes up above the ceiling, so you can see you need to allow that you've got the room once you drill the hole in the location you want, that there's not a joist or some duct work or maybe other wiring or something that's going to be in the way of this. So take the time, plan your light positioning out. We've got this one marked right here, so it's all basically ready to go. And I'm just going to drill it. So I've got my hole saw, I've got it in the drill. You could take the tile right down, because this does produce some dust. But I'm just going to see if I can do it right in place. They're throwing some glasses. I just went nice and easy and slow, just so it makes a nice clean hole. It does create a lot of dust. Okay, so now what I can do is reach up in there and hopefully just pull those wires down so we can work on it down here. One. Here's the other one. Okay, so we got both our wires down. So when you get your most of your pot lights, there's going to be some type of a box on here for the electrical to be housed inside of. Also, something else to consider is if for some reason you've got a ceiling that's insulated, or you've got some insulation in there for sound barrier, you need to make sure that you've got the proper can light that can be next to insulation. In our case, it isn't a concern. There's no insulation up there. So I just took the little cover off there. This one has the Moretz rate included with it. We're going to find that there's a black, white, and a ground wire inside there, so that's all normal. And then there's going to be some locations on that box in a few spots that you can pop that little piece out, which I've already done on this side, and install the wire clamp. Okay. Sometimes you'll find when you pop that little piece out, especially on these lights where the box is a little flimsy, there's some little tabs. On this one it'd be right there and right there. And that's where it's kind of spot welded on there when this is in there. You just stick a screwdriver in that hole and bend it back and forth and twist and that until it comes out. But sometimes those little pieces there don't break off real clean and they jut down in the hole too far. So you may need a round file just to clean those up a bit to make it easier to get the little wire clamp in there. I think this one's going to be all right. Maybe. tight. Now that I said that, and I don't have my file right here, these ones looked pretty clean. There we go. Okay, I got the little clamp in there. Just turn it so I can get at the screw part that tightens it up. And we can get my screwdriver handy. I'm going to feed the wires in there. I'll just loosen this off so there's more than enough room for them both to go in. And this is just like any electrical. When you're sliding the wire in through a clamp like that, we want, you know, no more than 1/4 inch of the white insulation here showing inside the box. So this is a pretty small little junction box hooked on here, so it takes a little bit of maneuvering to get them all in. I'll just get it in there and tighten down, and then you can see, I'll show you better what's going on. So you don't need that super tight, just snug enough that, you know, can hang there without pulling the wires out. So up in there you can see coming in the top are our wires that we need. You may only have one, you know, 14-2 wire, but in our case we had 2 like I explained before. And you can see I've got about 1/8 inch or maybe 3/16 of the white outer shield inside the box. So which this would just kind of hang that way so you can see better. Okay, so now because of the way our wiring is, this is really simple. We just match the colors up. I don't know, I always like to do my grounds first, and then I tuck them right back in the box. So in this case, this one has, like I said, the green wire, which is ground, already attached to the box. The odd light you might find just has a screw in there to attach the grounds to. So whatever your style has. I'm just twisting these 2 grounds together a bit, just to make things easier. I'll open up my morettes that came with the packaging. These should be a big enough size to encase all the wires that I've got. Okay, so I just hold the ground wire up against that one. Just give it a little twist with my fingers around the bare wires. I twist it together. Okay, just give that a little tug, make sure it's in there. Now we've got a really small junction box like I stated, so just take a little bit of time. Get this all folded back in there nice and out of the way, so we have as much room as we can in that box for all the other wires. Okay, so I got the ground all in there. Now the whites, or all the other wires really, I just simply do the same thing. So I'm going to take my whites and just twist them together. I'll do my blacks while I'm at it. This just makes a nice tight connection when you can twist those with the pliers. It's kind of hard. Most lighting comes with stranded wire, so it's kind of hard to actually twist it in there with the solid ones. It doesn't usually work well, but if you can just take it and lay it in beside them and get the moret on, then it usually works out all right. Okay, so those are on there. Now it's just a matter of getting everything tucked back in here like we did with the grounds. I don't know why this has to be so small. Trying not to kink them too sharply. Kind of difficult. Okay, so we got everything tucked back in there. No bare wires showing on the black or the whites. And we can put this little lid back on here. Just kind of closes everything up. Okay, so that's your junction box for all the wiring. Now, on the housing itself, as far as what holds it in, there's a couple different styles you'll find. This one just has these simple little clamps, and to get it up in the hole, I've got to get them inside the housing like that. When they're out like this, that's what it would look like when it's up inside the drywall or the ceiling tiles in this case. These clamps come out and clamp down tight to the top side of the drywall to kind of pinch it in there. The other style you're going to find will basically have some screws way up in there and a little clamping system that would slide. There's usually two that slide on each side, and you just simply tighten or loosen that screw depending what you're doing. But like I said, these ones, this is a little simpler version, although they can be a little bit finicky to get tight into place. Okay, so we've got that all in. I'm going to tuck the wires, get the wires started up in the hole, the junction box, and then basically got the housing in there. I'm going to step up here a bit. Okay, so just make sure the little clamps are inside the housing until you get it up in the hole. And then you'll notice there's kind of a bottom foot on each one of these clamps. And as the clamp turns, that foot turns as well, and that's going to basically be what hits the bottom side of the tile and helps put pressure on the tile itself. I might just need to get my hand up in here. Hold that tile down. Like I said, these ones here can be a little bit tough to maneuver. If you can get them kind of started, sometimes you can just push them with a screwdriver and finish them off so they fold up in there. I'm not too sure if you can really even see all this up in here. So give that a push. There. Okay. Just make sure all three of those are engaged. It looks like they are. Okay, so that's that part. Then these are an LED light. You might just have a socket up in there for a bulb. Like I said, these are an LED with their transformer and everything on the back. So this one just simply plugs in to that harness right there. Push that wire up in there, and then there's on the side there's these little friction fit kind of spring pieces of metal there. And again, these can be a little tough to get in, but once they're in, they usually hold quite well. So usually if you can get one side against the box, and then if I push that direction, I can fold these other ones a little bit with my fingers just to get it started up in there. And give that a little push, and I need to hold the tile down while I do it. Okay, so there, that's all that holds that in there. It's a nice, clean, finished look. And close this, put these tiles back in here, they sit down, and that's really all there is to it. Now I'm just going to turn the breaker on and double check that you know, everything is powering up, and then we should be good. Okay, so we got those right there, you can see. We're all good to go. Okay, so hopefully that will help you on your project that you might be working on, and assist you in any questions you might have had about it. And if it doesn't, you can always go to the forum and post up any questions you have there. And you know, myself, or we've got a couple guys on there helping out that are really good with all the electrical type stuff. If you have questions in that regards, you know, we can help you out from the forum. And if you want, you can follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. We've got Patreon going on if you want to check that out, all that fun stuff. And of course, we've got a whole whack of videos on YouTube. So go right to our channel, click subscribe, click the thumbs up button, and you'll really help us out. Thanks a lot.